G'day YouTube, Shadowx here, and today I've got a short little video on a returning favourite of mine, the MP443 pistol. Now if you're anything like me, you've been using the 93R or the G18 for quite some time, and since the reshuffle you've sort of re-evaluated and you've decided to check out some of the semi-automatic pistols. Now I used to play with the MP443 for quite some time, but since I unlocked the 93R, I was playing with that virtually exclusively due to its high rate of fire and it basically just being a burst fire pistol. But seeing as the patch has changed sort of things around a little bit, I thought I'd give the old MP443 a try. And if you're anything like me, you really like the default variant. You don't really want the early drop-off rate of the suppressed version, and you don't really want to be that guy running around with the tac light pistol all over the place. But as the US, you do not have that option. Even if you're level 100, you may still not have the default variant of the MP443, and today I'm hoping to give you a little bit of clarification on how to rectify that sort of situation. Now you will be seeing me pull out the AN94 from time to time, but rest assured I've only gotten one kill with it in this whole video, and that was with its underslung smoke launcher. Now I'll be using the tac variant and the suppressed variant of the MP443 as you're seeing here. But with the tac variant, I will be turning the flashlight off as soon as I spawn, just because I really don't want to be that guy with a tac light. Now, I'm just going to run through a quick little bit of stats for you guys so you guys can get a better appreciation of the MP443. Now, with most pistols, the MP443 has a max damage of 25, a minimum damage of 13.75, and the drop-off range for this starts at 12 meters. And it finishes at 50 meters. So anything beyond 50 meters with the pistol, you're going to be doing 13.75 damage. And provided you don't get headshots, it's going to take a minimum of 8 shots to drop a player sitting on full health. Now this might seem like a lot, but the accuracy on the MP443 is absolutely phenomenal. The recoil vertically is 0.7 modifier, and left and right is 0.1 evenly. Now the reset rate of this is just crazy. As soon as you fire, it just shoots straight back down, and you can just pump rounds upon rounds upon rounds at people, and then reload. Presuming you have one left in the chamber, you reload at 1.35 seconds. And even if you do spend a whole clip, you're still reloading at 1.6 seconds, guys. Now, the great thing about this is it has 18 rounds in the magazine, and that is plenty to drop anyone. Now, even if you're in a firefight, you probably still have time to reload between people. And that is just something that is absolutely phenomenal. That's something that you miss out on with the Magnum or anything like that. The great thing about the MP443 that I find is that this weapon is terribly forgiving, guys. You can turn a corner and get absolutely stunned by a player and start firing like crazy, but then you can spin around and be like, oh crap, alright, let's slow it down. You just slow down for half a second and go pop, 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 and they just die. With 25 damage maximum, if you shoot them in the head with 2 shots consecutively, that's an instant kill. So you double tap them in the head within 12 meters and they're going to die, which is just so easy with the MP443 with its high rate of fire and its great accuracy. Now, if you are looking to grab the MP443 in the standard variant, which I find is the best variant, it has the great sound of the unsuppressed version, and you don't have to constantly turn off the tac light or worry about accidentally flicking it on and flashing everyone in your team right in the face. Now, you're pretty much going to have to play as the Russians, and you're going to have to grab the MP443 default variant, as it is their default pistol, and you're going to have to make 100 kills with it. Now, that was my goal for this video, and it has really taken a fair amount of time, but I feel like the smoke grenades have really helped close the distance between enemies and just confusing people. I mean, that's the great thing about smoke grenades. They just cause so much confusion. People will just explode and puff of smoke, not know what to do, just start turning around, and by then you've already got some shots on them. And even above all that, guys, it's just so satisfying to be outgunning people who have shotguns, people who have M16s right up in your face, and you're still destroying them. Now, there are a lot of situations where you do have to fire from a fair amount of distance away, past the 50 meters mark even, but with the accuracy of the MP443 and the suppression that it provides, you usually seem to be okay. I mean, snipers will tend to miss their shots after a fair amount of shots on them, but no matter how many times they miss you, the standard pistols do not seem to suffer terribly from suppression, if at all. The Rex and the 44 Magnum seem to have a fair amount of recoil added to their shots when they're under suppression, but it seems to me that their shots still go exactly where you're pointing. It's more of just a visual distraction. But the visual distraction part for the pistols is seemingly the only thing. You don't lose any accuracy. And the great thing about the pistols is that it does not matter which stance you're in. Generally, standing is your least accurate. Crouching is slightly more accurate than that, and laying down is the most accurate you're going to get. And again, if you're moving, you also lose more accuracy. Now that is true with the pistols. You have a 1.0 modifier if you're standing, crouching, or laying down motionless. But if you're running around, or crawling around, or crouch walking, you have a modifier of 1.5, and that is really not a lot. So if you're thinking of setting up a defensive position, trying to get cover, that's fine, but generally it doesn't matter with pistols. You're definitely able to stay on your feet and hip fire like crazy, or aim down the sights, and you won't lose any accuracy while on the move. Now, the great thing about pistols that I find is that you can just run all over the map really quick. You definitely don't end up camping with the pistol. You take a little bit of a different approach when you're running around. You try to be a little bit more tactical, I suppose. You take cover wherever you can and try to flank your enemies a lot more, because that's the only sort of situation that you'll be able to really sort of surprise your enemy and get those initial shots on them. But once you get those initial shots on them as a pistol, you generally do win most of the battles you encounter. Just seemingly because you put suppression on them, they put suppression on you, and they're missing because of that suppression, but it just doesn't matter to you. One, because you're so close, and two, because you don't have any sort of zoom optics or anything like that. You're just aiming down the sights on an iron sights weapon, and you're just pumping them full of rounds, and they just start to go down, which is just a different way to play Battlefield, and something I found nice and challenging. So if you found this video useful in any way, guys, please give it a like, and most importantly, I want to know what you guys think. Definitely leave me a comment if you've got the time. It only takes a couple of seconds, and in general, it just really helps me shape the channel. It really helps me tailor to what you guys want to see. But until next time, it's the weekend, so I'm going to go capture some more video. I'm Shadox, and I'm out.